Good morning, class. Happy Friday, March 27. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about how we evaluate sources, what advice we have to make sure the sources we use to get information are trustworthy and reliable. First thing I would like to do is make an important announcement for you. It has become extraordinarily apparent that many of you aren't actually watching these videos. You're skipping them and then just trying to do the work without. This is apparent based on the fact that out of 25 students, I think only 10 actually did what they were supposed to yesterday, which was explained in the video, which means you obviously didn't watch it. Since that is the case, I'm going to post this video at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm recording this on Thursday. I will not be posting the rest of the work that you need to do until noon. And I will continue to do this until I am confident that everyone is watching these videos every single time they are posted. I understand that you just want to get your work done as fast as you can. However, not watching these videos is 1, lazy, and 2, careless. You want to save some time. Here's what I would recommend that you do. I post these videos as YouTube videos, which you should be able to do if I click on yesterday's YouTube video that most of you didn't watch. Good morning, class. Happy Thursday, March 26th. Allows you to
Today
change
we're going
the
to keep
speed.
Evaluating this idea of sources and where we get
I do
information
this all the
from.
time. I watch
the
it
media.
at
Agenda
1.5
for today is first I'd like to start off with a short devotion.
Takes a little less
After that, I will
longer
share
than
with
the
you some of
15
the
whatever
results from
minutes
the
this
survey
is.
that you guys filled out yesterday. Thanks
You
for
could try to
the
go
fact that all of
double
you did that.
speed.
After that, you're going to look at your
For me
anthologies that you should have turned in
personally,
yesterday,
that's a little
and you're
too
going to be
fast for me
evaluating
to
them.
understand. That's just one way to save a couple minutes, but you really do need to be watching these videos. They explain not just what you have to do, but specifically how to do it. That's part of what your responsibility is as a student here. Just to let you know, what I will do is post the video further down on the stream, and then everything above this post is the work that you need to do for that day. So what you should do is start at the bottom, find the video for that day, and then work your way up from post to post. That is the order in which you should get things done. If you have questions about that, let me know. Huge thanks to the 10 of you that actually did watch the video and listen carefully yesterday. The rest of you need to be doing the same. So at noon today, I will post the rest of this. One, you're going to have a short question as your quote, bell ringer, end quote question. After that, I'd like to share some of my own personal thoughts on this coronavirus. And then your homework is going to be doing a Wikipedia assessment activity. It'll be a Google form that is due by 3 p.m. today. Should be plenty of time for you to get that done between noon and 3. And then we'll do some source sharing and some detail on the coronavirus research-based question you'll answer next week. So first, the question you'll have to answer that I will post on Google Classroom is telling me 3 to 5 signs or cues, tips that help you determine whether an online source is reliable, trustworthy, and accurate. What are 3 to 5 things you should be looking for and doing to make sure those online sources are reliable and trustworthy? So just tell me what they are. I don't need a paragraph explaining them. Just give me a list of somewhere between 3 and 5, no less, no more. After you answer that question, you will do a Wikipedia assessment. But first, just a couple of my own personal thoughts on this coronavirus. I haven't shared a whole lot about what I think of this yet. A little hard to do that when everything changes so quickly, and it's always my goal to kind of keep my personal opinion out of stuff. But one, see a lot of people, not just in this class, but seems like society in general, talking about how we're overreacting to everything. I just want to say my personal opinion is that overreacting is the proper reaction to this. What I don't mean is that we should be panicked and fearful and things go to chaos. However, I do think we need to treat the situation with the severity it does deserve. I do think that underreacting is way more costly than overreacting here. One of my favorite quotes is that an ounce of prevention equals a pound of cure. I think that's the approach we should take with this virus. I would rather overreact than underreact. Second thing, I do think 3 things need to happen for us to get control of this. One, there needs to be a better distribution and more supply of protective gear for our hospitals, nurses, doctors, medical staff to keep them safe. If we can't keep our doctors and nurses safe, there's no way we're going to get a handle on this disease. Second thing, we need to do a better job of getting more tests out there. If we can confirm who has this virus and who doesn't, and realize it takes a week or so for many people to show symptoms of this virus, and there are certain situations where you don't get the symptoms at all. You just have no symptoms whatsoever. That makes it tricky because everything kind of lags behind. I am confident that our country will get caught up with making sure that we get the necessary safety supplies for nurses and doctors, and to get appropriate tests that can be distributed quickly, taken quickly, the results quickly. We are an industrial manufacturing powerhouse. I'm really confident that we'll get caught up with that sooner rather than later. The third thing I do think we need, though, is a vaccine. That's going to take much longer. They're in the early phases of creating one. However, you got to do tests. You got to make sure that the cure isn't worse than the disease, as President Trump said in one of his press conferences. The doctors that I have listened to on podcasts and seen on the news say that at earliest, it will probably take a year to have the final product of this vaccine, and it'll probably take longer to make enough of it, get it distributed, and get it injected inside people. So just know it's going to be a while. I do think once we get a vaccine, whenever that is, it's going to help resolve some of the fear. It's really going to help open up our economy again, our society again, because we know in the long term we've got a vaccine to help treat this disease. So once again, these are the results from your survey from 2 days ago about whether Wikipedia is valuable or not. What I'm going to do is give you a Wikipedia assessment form. That'll be on Google Classroom. It's a Google form. Directions are pretty self-explanatory. This is the only work you need to get done, unless you did not do yesterday's work about rearranging your sources in the anthology correctly, in which you should go to yesterday's video to get more details on that. So get that Wikipedia assessment done, answer those questions with detail, thoughtfully. Last thing, so that's due 3 p.m. today. What I would recommend you do is look at your top 3 sources. I'm going to post a link to your coronavirus anthology post assignment on Google Classroom. It's going to give you an infographic that gives you advice for how to test the reliability of sources. I would look through your top 3 sources to do that in order to help you write that research-based question paper next week. Also on Google Classroom, this is just for your information, I'm going to post everybody's #1 source once everybody actually does this, and I will put that to Google Classroom, and that way you have access to everyone's top source just to have more than enough information to write that RBQ well. Questions about anything, let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend after you're done with today, and we'll talk to you next week.